welcome to a quick installment, Thanksgiving version of Neat Conversation with me, Keith, New England Whiskey, and my buddy Austin, Moon's Tavern. We got a little something special here. Austin, why don't you tell everyone what we got?
Well, we were discussing on, a wild turkey that we wanted to do, and we both were in agreement that, especially too, since it just was Jimmy's birthday and all that stuff. And I haven't popped mine open yet. I think that you already popped yours. Was the Wild Turkey 70th anniversary release. That's aged 8 years. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. See what that's about.
Yeah,
Good little pop there.
it's always good when you finally pop a bottle. Although I think your bar is a little bit lighter this recording than it was last week when we recorded. Just I may have drank a few things off your shelf.
No, I just added water, so then that way it looks the same way.
That's fair. I think that's why you sent us to Jerry's house, so that
That's
way
right.
we could get away from your bar for a few minutes. So.
Well, the funny thing was, even Jerry said, man, he goes, when y'all got there, y'all were pretty good. And I said, yeah. I said, we were definitely good.
Well, I'm glad neither one of us were driving. Kudos
That's right.
to your wife. So.
Yep, she is a saint. She is. And of course, since the big game's coming up, the game, I had to rep my team here. We'll see what happens. But
Yep.
hopefully it's going to be a big upset, but we'll see what happens. I've got the faith, but I'm not going to hold my breath. But I've got faith.
Yeah, well, you got that new recruit coming in, so.
Oh man, we got a whole bunch of new recruits. I'm very excited about all that. But what was it? There was a documentary with the Foo Fighters where they were going around and they were going to different cities and stuff like that. I forget what it was called. Jerry actually hooked me up, put me onto it. But one guy always said, says you have faith, but don't have false hope. So I've got faith, but not false hope here. Man,
So
this smells amazing.
So yeah, you haven't tried this yet, so I'm more curious to get your thoughts and opinion on this one first.
It's definitely got that turkey funk on there, which I love. I'm almost getting like a spiced apple, though. It's weird. I mean, I usually get that on the rare breed rye, or the Wild Turkey 101 rye. I usually don't get that on their bourbon.
No, I can definitely see that. It definitely has that bright note to it, and that feel.
Yeah, I mean, I can't get off of that. It's like a spiced candy apple with the quintessential bourbon flavors of the brown sugar, the caramel. Then you've got that turkey funk that's coming in there.
Well, I mean,
like if you're going to do blues band.
If you're definitely going to do a 70th anniversary bottle, I mean, you gotta stick a little bit to your roots too.
Mm-hmm. Man, I'm almost wishing I bought another bottle of this. I only bought one.
Yeah, it was tough for me to find it out here, but eventually everything comes around. So.
No, I know where some more's at, so I definitely could get us some more if we need it.
It sounds like you might be venturing into West Virginia too.
Well, this will actually be in Maryland.
Oh, all right.
That's the great thing where I live at, man, is I can hit 3-4 different states, very quickly as far as, Maryland, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and even Tennessee. I mean, that's a little bit further down, but
yeah, Kentucky's not too far either, so.
Oh man, I'm really enjoying this, man.
Well,
Dang,
I'm glad we did this so that you could pop something new and get on into it. And
good grief! And to me, it seems like, of course, Wild Turkey always seems like it drinks a little bit hotter than the 101, in my opinion. And I think it's just them spices in the back. It's not like it's a barrel proof where you get that real big Kentucky hug. It's just those spices that just linger around and they just don't go away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're definitely getting a good finish on this. It doesn't. It's not. I wouldn't call it a super long finish. I'd probably say, you know, a a short medium finish there, but definitely has a good mouthfeel to it. Like you said, doesn't give you that massive Kentucky hug, but you definitely feel it go down the back of your throat. It definitely sits there for a minute. It's just a bright, celebratory, warm feeling in your body.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. I mean, it's hard to even think about how long Jimmy's been in the game. You know what I mean? I mean, it's crazy when you think about it, and how many editions that he's had of bourbon that he's overseen. It's crazy. You almost get emotional about it. You know what I mean? It's just like, man, this dude's been around forever. And then, of course, I'm a Booker's dude. I'll probably go get it just because of the sentimental value. But they did the Jimmy's release that was a tribute to Jimmy Russell.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was really cool because apparently him and Booker No were very, very good friends, which, I mean, that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, it's really good. Of course, I've heard mixed reviews on that batch, but
I think with all the Bookers that you have sitting around the corner, it's worth picking up anyway. So
I just said, when people ask me, like, oh, do you get this Booker's? I'm like, man, I need to calm down. I got like 15, 17 of them. I mean, unless it's like a earth-shattering one, then I'm like, I think I can wait a little bit.
So what are your big Thanksgiving Day plans? I think we can talk about,
man.
We're talking about the wild turkey in our glass, but I think we can talk about the wild turkey that might be on our table too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to do a, believe it or not, as much crap that I have smoked in my life, as far as meats, that is. I've never smoked a full turkey before. I've done turkey breasts. I've done all of that. So we're going to give a shot at it's actually a apple spice cranberry glazed spatchcock turkey, smoked turkey. So if it sucks, it's somebody else's fault. But we're gonna give it a shot.
Yeah,
I'm also
it sounds like the way you were describing that turkey and the glaze that you're gonna do, and your tasting notes on this pour, it seems like you have a match made in heaven.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and to be honest with you, I mean, I might be getting that apple a lot just because of the brine that I just had to make for it, and it was an apple spice brine. So I mean, the nutmeg, the clove. I mean, it could just be lingering in my nose, but I feel like that is very quintessential on this one. I mean, I'm definitely getting that when I brought it up to my nose. But you know how it is when after you've eaten something or whatever, you've been around like a candle or whatever, sometimes those scent tendrils seem like they just hang out. Those particles just hang out in your nose for a while. So that could be it, but I don't know, man. I feel like I'm pretty spot on with it. I'll have to smell it again later on or try some tomorrow.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think you're not far off at all. I don't think you have too much lingering from your brine, so. I definitely get that. I can see where you're getting it. I mean, I definitely get that caramel coming through pretty heavily, but then my secondary immediately goes to that apple feel. So I'm a little different. I think you were apple first, caramel second. I think I'm caramel first, apple second. But then, like you said, your typical baking spices, your brown sugars, really just a well-balanced, what you would expect type of pour. Yes.
Well, that's cool, man. You said your brother is in too. Is the rest of your family and everybody?
Yeah, everyone else is close except for him. He's about 3 hours away, so he made the journey out here, and his first stop I think was my bourbon room, and I think he's got 7 bottles lined up next to him already. So
heck yeah, I want samples of all of them.
All right, we can work it out. But you have most of it, so you actually have. One of them that he's having is that Heaven Hill that you bottled when you went there like 2 or 3 days after me.
The select stock.
So, yeah.
The weeded select stock.
Yeah, the 14-year weeded select.
So out of all the turkeys, which one is your favorite? Since we're talking turkey.
I mean, it was really good to do that side by side. last week at your house with the 13 and the 15 year on those Russells, and that 15 year, man, I tell you, it's a really special pour. I mean, for me, I know you were the opposite, but no surprise with us that I preferred the 15 over the 13. Um, I mean, right now, that's, that 15 year stands out to me. I have liked a couple different releases of the Master's Keep. I thought the Voyage, which was finished in the Jamaican rum cask, was really good. Very different than, your typical regular pours just because of that cask finish. Definitely a bit sweeter that you get from that sugar cane. But I mean, that 15, it really comes to mind as top of the list right now.
Yeah, I mean, and don't misconstrue. I mean, the 15 is amazing. I like it. It's just, when it starts turning into those heavy oak notes and stuff like that. Sometimes I dig them, sometimes I don't. It just depends on the day that I do it. Because like if we do the Old Granddad 16 or the Elijah Craig 18, now those are a little bit lower proof, so it doesn't stand out as much. But I think the water, when they put when they lower them down, I think it makes it the age even worse to me. I mean, it's just it really shines in a bad way, in my opinion. To it. But I've had some great Elijah Craig 18s, and the Old Granddad 114. The Old Granddad 16 year is not bad. I wish I had a little bit more proof to see where it's at. See how it would stand up to different things. But as far as the wild turkey stuff, man, you can't go wrong with Russells. I mean, the Russells picks, the Russells just regular single barrel. I mean, if I had to pick something that was always going to be in my bar, there's always going to be Russell picks. There's always going to be a Russell single barrel in there, just because, I mean, it's just that good. And typically you can find those without, a lot of fuss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then if you can get some stuff that's, from Camp Nelson, that's even better. It's and it doesn't break the bank. I mean, it's consistently in there. Same thing with Rare Breed. I mean, really, you can go through almost the whole entire lineup. The only one that I'm probably not super crazy about, but I do like it, is the Russell's 10. I mean, it's okay. I wish it had a little bit more proof on it, but everything else in their portfolio, I really like.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Russell's 10, I mean, you see it at a lot of bars. It's a good baseline. It's not meant to be the most earth-shattering bourbon that they make, but for the price you're paying and, where it stands in the portfolio, it's towards the bottom side of it, but you don't see a lot of 10 years as your bottom side pours. So, I mean, what you get from that, it's pretty great.
I guess, and this is my own fault here, because what I do is any 10 year always compare it up to the Eagle Rare. You know what I mean? So for that compared to Eagle Rare just it knocks it out of the park, in my opinion. Or even a Henry McKenna, but Henry McKenna, the price has gone up so much on that. I mean, you're almost priced out of that cost of Eagle Rare or Russell's 10, because they've gone up too, though, haven't they? The Russell's 10. I don't know about the Russell's 10, but I know the Eagle Rare has gone up maybe $5 or $10.
Yeah, I mean, what isn't going up nowadays? So
I think it's like 40, maybe 40 something, 41 maybe.
Yeah, I think it's just about 40 is what I see around here, a little less. I can still find it about $38 every now and again. So
now I just came from a store and the Henry McKenna was $59. They had it on sale for $59. I was like, man, I ain't seen it that cheap in forever.
Yeah, it's about what I see it out here too.
Really? See,
Yeah.
most of the stores up here, your Henry McKennas are going to be somewhere around 69, something of that nature. So it's I remember back in the day when it was 50. Well, I think it was it even in the 30s? I'm trying to think.
Might have been before I was drinking bourbon. I started around 40, 45 when I was first getting into bourbon. So I mean, it was probably lower at some point in terms of price. So.
Yeah. But no, this is awesome. Definitely, I'm going to be picking up a couple more bottles of this. I mean, this is one of those ones. I mean, it's sentimental just because Jimmy Russell, he's one of the goats of bourbon. And then plus two, it's just damn good. I mean, it's so good.
Yeah. But I know we're keeping this one a little short. Just a
Yes,
little
sir.
Thanksgiving one. So I want to wish you, your family, especially for putting up with me last week, a happy Thanksgiving.
That was our
to
pleasure,
anyone
man.
to anyone that's subscribed to us or watches this video, I hope you all have a good Thanksgiving surrounded by friends and family. And of course, we're Neat Conversation, so we hope you have a nice, neat, and great pour.
Also got to throw in my military guys, my cop buddies, everybody that's overseas doing their thing. Anybody that's not going to be able, and the firefighters, can't leave them out, even though they're firefighters. But anyway, everyone that's not going to be able to sit at a table with their family and all that stuff, doing their thing. Happy Thanksgiving, all that kind of good stuff. Me from the bottom of my heart, and all that kind of stuff. So, hey man, cheers, happy Thanksgiving.
Cheers, brother. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right,